Okay, now we're ready. Welcome. Would everyone please stand? Mr. Whittle, would you lead us in the pledge to the flag?
Flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, good evening and welcome to the May 13th Town of Milton Planning Board meeting. Just for the record, I note that Bernadette Van Dens is not with us this evening, so Carl Burkett will stand in as the alternate member. Just one announcement for me. This past month, the advisory committee on our zoning recommendations had wrapped up its solar and battery siting recommendations to the town board for zoning changes. I think right now the planner's still doing the final adjustments to that, and they'll be sending that to the town board for their consideration. That's going to trigger a bunch of reviews. We got to send it to the county for review. We're sending to town council for them to review. It will come to the planning board for its review. And then it'll start to go out for public comment and eventually public hearing. In the meantime, the committee is turning its attention to focusing on zoning changes in accordance with the comprehensive plan that was completed last year. So we met for the first time last night on those changes. We'll be meeting again in June. I think the next meeting is scheduled for June 11th that we're going to meet. That meeting's, we're still kind of organizing how we're going to approach that. Unfortunately, Sophia Maruso, our town planner, wasn't able to make it last night. She's home with a sick kid, and that's why she's not here this evening. But she's going to come in with a kind of a process, how we want to tackle this zoning code amendment. It's pretty extensive. If you look at the section of the comprehensive plan about action items, there's a whole chapter devoted there, and there's significant number of land use and zoning and subdivision code recommendations for changes. There's a whole bunch of technical changes that both the planner and the building department have looked at over the years about updating the code. So it's a rather extensive and thorough look at the code that we're going to be doing. So it's going to take us a little while, but the thought is we're going to meet monthly until we can plow through it all. So keep an eye on that. Our first order of business this evening is approval of our April meeting. So I will entertain a motion to approve the April 8th, 2026 meeting minutes of the Town of Milton Planning Board.
Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Whittle, do I have a second?
I'll second. I'll second.
Frey. Is there any discussion or changes to the minutes as presented? There being none, please pull the board.
Mr. Fry,
Yes.
Mr. Marsicano,
Yes.
Mr. Burkett, Mr. Whittle,
Yes.
Miss Marin,
Yes.
Miss Yelnack,
I was absent for said meeting, but I was able to go over the minutes.
And you can
Okay.
vote however you want on them.
Yes.
Okay.
Chairman Barto.
Yes. And I neglected to mention that Amanda Zawada is off on some leave, her family illness in her family, so she's going to be gone for a couple of weeks. And Brenda Howe is sitting in today as our planning board secretary. So thank you, Brenda. Okay, we'll now open the meeting to public comment. This is the only opportunity since we don't have any other public hearings scheduled this evening. And we have both in-person and virtual comments. So if you're online and would like to make a comment to us, please use the hand wave feature and the secretary will try to note that and cue you in. And then I'd ask if you're going to address the board to limit your comments to 3 minutes. If you have written comments, please summarize them. And if you have a copy, please leave them with us so we can get them out to the board. I'd note that this is not a question and answer period, but an opportunity for you to address the board. So if you have a comment for us, please let us know. Come up to the microphone, give us your name and address. So I will open the meeting for public comment at 7:05 p.m. Anybody choose to address the board at this time? Anybody online choose to address the board? There being no public comment, I will close the public comment period at 7:05 PM as well. Okay, our first project this evening is the request from the Emeren Renewables for the extension of their special use permit for a community solar project at 6654 Middle Grove Road. If you recall, we first approved this project at the former Austro landfill in August of 2021. The board has been doing continual progress, but experienced several delays due to environmental permitting and investigation since it's on a former landfill and has had some transmission issues for ingress and egress to the property, and unfortunately also an estate settlement associated with the passing of Mrs. Elaine Austro. And most recently, Emeren, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, has written to us indicating that they've had some additional DEC environmental monitoring that had to be done, as well as some credit requirements they had to meet with some financing. So they are requesting an eighth, I believe, extension for their special use permit to finalize their plans. Is there a representative here this evening from Emeren at all or online?
Yeah, we are online.
Online, okay. So if you want to introduce yourself and anything you want to say to us.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hi board. Thank you for having us. My name is Garrett Herman. Project.
I'm sorry, what was your first name again?
Garrett.
Garrett.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been developing this project at Emeren now for probably about like 4 or 5 months now. So just coming from you or to ask for another extension for a special use permit. Essentially, you covered all the major hurdles, exactly what we were going to say. So essentially, the last bit here was the DEC was requiring more extensive studies than a normal solar project would get. Obviously, it's on a landfill, so they're a bit more environmentally conscious. So we have been doing bi-yearly landfill samplings, having someone go out and check it. Those have all been approved and, made sure that nothing is leaking. There's nothing toxic leaking out of the cover. So those have all been good. And we have also recently completed the last part of the New York State DEC mandated is that we had to secure a letter of credit from the Bank of America and a standby trust fund agreement with the Bank of New York. So once we got those signed, we did those last month or 2 months ago. Those are essentially the last hurdles that we had. And so that was the reason that we're requesting the extension. Now that we've gotten everything basically on the front part there, we are beginning to get ready to just get a financing partner. And once we secure that, we are ready to submit the building application and go ahead with our HCBA with the town. We already have the pilot signed. So we really intend on fulfilling it. We've already ordered electrical equipment, including the transformer. So we are ready. Like, it's not like we're stalling we don't intend on building this. It's a very live project, just complications that have arose.
Okay. Nobody's here to ask. We have everything else in line in terms of the pilot, the community assistance. All right, we can double check with that when the planner's here just to do that. We have plenty of time before we have to get to that. We have a building permit we're still waiting on, so we can execute that. All right, does the board have any questions on this?
The only question I had for him, if you can hear me, was Garrett, so you mentioned that
Financial partner is your last stage. Are there any other stages that were expected?
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard the first part when you said, Garrett, can you hear me? And then I lost everything after you said that.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. The question I was asking was, you said you had just a financing partner? Is that right?
Yes. Yep. Correct.
So there's nothing else?
Yes. No. That is, like I said, the delay there was we just had a bit more of the hurdles from the DEC, especially securing the letter of credit. and the trust fund agreement with the Bank of New York. So that was really the last, that was taking a while from our execution team. So once they signed that off with them, yeah, like I said, yeah, just waiting for the financing partner, and the project is ready to have legs.
I have a question. Can you hear me, Garrett?
Yeah, yep, perfect.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, you're great. I gotcha.
I have a question. How are you getting the electricity off site? Are you going to pipe it out, or do you have in the future any kind of storage battery concerns?
No, we have no plans on adding battery to this project at all. Just a strictly solar project.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? All right, if not, I will entertain a motion to grant an extension to Adjourned Solar for special use permit associated to the solar project at 6654 Mill Grove Road. The expiration of which permit is extended for an additional 6 months until December 10th, 2026. It is approved subject to all the original terms and conditions, things in the approval resolution dated August 18th, 2021. Not modified or changed. Yet there's just the stated above, which is really one. What is the word? That's, yeah. And the emotion, now I need a second. What happens?
I gave the motion.
The motion, I need a second. Any further discussion? There being none, please pull the board.
Mr. Fry,
Yes.
Mr. Marsicano,
Yes.
Mr. Burkett, Mr. Whittle,
Yes.
Miss Marin,
Yes.
Miss Yelnats,
Yes.
Chairman Barto.
We'll get a copy of this resolution to you, Jared.
Perfect.
You have a copy of that? And that's it. I guess that's all we need from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
And just to let you know that probably before that extension goes, our moratorium on these will be done, we hope. But that doesn't affect you guys at all since you've been grandfathered out of that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Just you make
Perfect.
it.
And then just who should I reach out for to get the copy from?
Reach
I'll
out to
mail it
Brenda
out.
House. She'll probably just mail it out.
I'll
to
mail
you.
it out.
I think we have the latest contact information for you guys.
I don't have it on here, but it's probably on the application.
If you
in the
who have you
file.
been- Who did you send the letter of correspondence to for the extension?
That's a good question.
I don't have it up. Anybody got it? You got it?
I can look through my contacts, and whoever I emailed, I will just reach out and make sure.
Yeah, usually, it would go through the building department or Sophia Maruso, who's our town planner. But
Gotcha.
if
Okay.
anything,
Perfect.
send it to our town planner or Brenda Howe at the clerk's office.
Okay.
And sure, we get a copy of it. We'll email it to you.
Perfect. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Have a great night.
Yep. Okay, next up, we have the continued review site plan for a new building supply business, Ballston Carpet, and modification of the site for their existing business at 2128 to 2350 Doubleday Avenue. The application has also submitted a special use permit application and request for a waiver from the town code standards for a stream corridor overlay pursuant to section 18029(2) of the zoning code. Last month, the planning board made a motion to declare itself lead agency and the action as an unlisted action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act. Our town engineer has reviewed the project and requested additional information regarding the connection to the village water system, as well as details for on-site septic disposal. Saratoga County Planning has also requested additional information regarding the stream corridor as well as access to and throughout the site for emergency services vehicles and DOT curb cuts. We're looking tonight for the planning board to get any additional information from the applicant, as well as to provide further direction to the applicant as it needs to get the complete site plan and the special use permit application, so we can get this application full and complete and SIP, get our secret determination and be going. I did just want to clarify something. I had a conversation with Sophia a little bit today on this special use permit and the waiver that we have indicated. And then was talking to council a little bit before that our stream corridor overlay does require a special use permit here. So I don't know, there's not a waiver provision in it. I mean, there is 3 separate standards that need to be met for basically best management practices relative to the stream. But in addition, the general standards under the special use permit come into play, as well as the special permit process comes into play. Which really just, under this case, since the site plan review has a discretionary hearing, its special use permit has a mandatory public hearing. That's really one of the biggest difference that's gonna be. So yeah, we're gonna be using that special permit process. Yeah, and you've got the appropriate application.
Okay,
I just wanted to clarify that.
perfect.
So yeah, if you got any additional update you want to bring to us? Great.
Yes. Can I grab a remote?
Uh-oh. What? Something's coming on now.
Goody.
And I believe HDMI. Try the other side.
Yeah, finding something.
Press down button. Right, if you device in piece. Is there a down button on the Samsung remote?
It's working.
Oh, shoot. Is it, can we just plug that HDMI straight into the TV?
I don't. Not to run it through Zoom.
Okay.
Amanda, tell me what you do. No.
Pushing the buttons.
HDMI to. There we go.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's her picture.
None of the remotes work properly.
Maybe Samsung TV at work just like that. It's a piece of junk.
I wish. Nah, that's. Oh, okay. Okay. Good evening, members of the board. You all hear me? Name is Max Hodgwin, Senior Engineer with Lansing, here tonight on behalf of the applicant, Foshner Contracting LLC and the owner Gagny Enterprises LLC to present the site plan for the Ballston Carpet and Tile Site Plan Modifications Project to the board for your review, comment, and hopeful approval. Quick overview, as we went over last time, I know there's members of the board that weren't with us last time. The site is located at 2130 and 2128 Doubleday Ave, roughly 0.4 miles south of the intersection with North Line Road and north of the boundary line with the village of Ballston Spa. The site is in the corridor mixed use district and consists of 5 parcels, all owned by the owner, Gagny Enterprises LLC. Zoomed in. Total area of the 5 parcels is roughly 1.9 acres. There is also a 150-foot stream corridor protection overlay that is associated with the drainage ditch north of the existing building that falls over the northern portion of the site. The site is serviced by private sewer and water and municipal gas and electric. Site is roughly 60% impervious, consisting of the existing Ballston Carpet and Tile building. An associated drive aisle and parking area, as well as the paved area associated with the recently demolished restaurant at 2128 Doubleday Ave. Next one. Come back. Great. The project proposes the construction of a new 18,000 square foot retail and material storage building with associated parking and utility infrastructure to service the new building, as well as improve the parking facilities and utility facilities for the existing building. The split is roughly 7,800 square feet of retail and 10,200 square feet of material storage. In the previous meeting, the board requested more details on the peak hour parking demands. The parking includes 45 stalls, including 3 accessible spaces to service the existing and the proposed use. The owner and the applicant have indicated that the existing facility, the demand for the existing facility is significantly lower than the required parking requirements as outlined in the Town of Milton zoning code, and a surplus of parking is available at the existing facility. Additionally, a parking evaluation was conducted for similar land use types that found the proposed number of parking spaces to be more than adequate for the proposed project, which includes both the existing and the proposed building. A shared parking easement is also proposed over the 2 lots. I'll speak more about that in a minute. The county and the town also requested additional information on vehicle circulation. The drive aisles meet the required 26 feet per town requirements and have been designed to meet the International Fire Code, and fire vehicle apparatus turning movements have been simulated driving through the site, as well as delivery vehicles. The town recommended a study into the future DOT improvements that are proposed along Route 50. And as such, we have responded with a proposed 15-foot DOT easement along the Route 50 side of the site. The county requested additional information and detail regarding the stream corridor. As John had mentioned, a special use application has been requested for the portion of the building and proposed parking that encroaches into the 150-foot stream corridor overlay. That is shown by the gray line on the screen. I'll zoom up a little bit. The vast majority of this area within the stream corridor overlay district that is being redeveloped is previously disturbed and paved under existing conditions. And the stream is classified by DEC as a Class C tributary, which requires no additional, it's not defined as a protected stream and is not subject to those requirements. The project also proposes the consolidation of the existing 5 lots into 2 new lots. Lot 1, which is the northern lot, containing the existing Ballston carpet and tile structure, is roughly 0.88 acres, and lot 2 would be roughly 1.02 acres and contain the proposed new building and proposed parking. Both lots meet all the requirements of the area and bulk regulations for the CMU zoning, except for the front yard of lot 1, which is the existing building, and it is existing non-conforming. And as I mentioned, a parking easement is proposed between lot 1 and 2 for the shared use of the parking as well as the drive aisles. The proposed building will be serviced by private sewer and public water, and a new water connection to the existing building is also proposed. Thank you very much. That's all I had, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
So what are those white rectangular things that just dip into the,
Those are trash enclosures. There are existing ones there now. We're just shifting them back slightly.
so what are the requirements for the special use permit and the stream overlay?
So if you look at 18029 of the code, they're not super diligent, but I can go through it quick. Read it there. The planning board may grant approval of anything larger than, was it 5? Hold on. We require anything larger than, what is it, 5,000 square feet? It's being developed in the stream corridor overlay to go through a certain amount of review to mitigate, to incorporate best management practices. And we may be able to grant such approval only if it finds that the project activity, A, will not result in degradation of the scenic character or compromising of a historic and or cultural resources for the documented safety issues with pictures and measurements. So basically the scenic character or historic things. B, will not result in erosion or stream or lake pollution from the surface or subsurface runoff. Or C, will employ BMP practices when available. Those are the standards under 18029 2 that, or B, that we have to incorporate when we're reviewing it. But the fact that this does require us to exercise this authority using our special use permit standards, then we have to go to our special use permit standards, which are under section 18040. So you go to 18040, just to be clear on that, there's a whole bunch of general requirements in 18040. Wait, 39, 37 is huge. Especially general considerations under 18041 that get into the size and use and nature and intensity of the operations involved. The sidewalks as an integral component of transportation. We have sidewalks in the CMU. Location, nature, and height of the buildings. Proposed traffic access ways. Provision for safe and accessible parking. Off-street parking availability. Proposed building structures, equipment readily accessible for fire and police protection. Plans for public address systems, really not relevant here. The character, appearance of proposed uses and structures and outdoor signs and lighting. And then the best use management practices to ensure protection of streams, which goes back to the 18029. And then those are the general standards. So not unlike the same kind of standards we're using in our site plan review, which are those same standards. So they're not inconsistent. The biggest thing is this is a mandatory public hearing, so we're gonna have to hold a public
Yep.
hearing under
Okay.
the special use permit. So
Thank you.
those are those standards.
I was just asking the question because like having the dumpster is in the stream overlay and you're looking for a waiver here. That might not be the best place for them. You know, when you consider the clause about pollution and runoff.
Yeah, we are, even though we are under an acre of disturbance, we are proposing a mitigation practice to run along the edge of the parking.
Okay, all right.
That it is sized to treat the 10% of the water quality volume for the sheet flow that is coming down that drive out.
And that'll go around the dumpsters too.
Correct.
Oh, okay, that's great. Yeah. Thank you.
The last time we were here, we talked a little bit about the northern side of the new building and what was going to be there. You guys weren't quite sure. What have you thought about? Are there going to be like roll-up doors or access points or anything on the northern side of the building?
Yeah, so along the edge of the drive aisle, yeah, there is going to be an overhead door for deliveries. Our delivery vehicle movements propose pulling head first in towards those dumpsters, as is the case under the existing condition. And the overhead door is directly opposite from the existing building's overhead door. So theoretically, we'd be able to unload both buildings at the same time. And that's what we have proposed for the northern side of the building.
So that where, just so I get a general idea, where on the northern side are the roll-up doors going to be?
Yes, I can go to.
Or maybe I missed that.
So we have outlined in gray within the envelope of the building.
Oh,
Right there.
so that's what that meant. Okay.
And the existing roll-up doors for the existing building line up with the striped area on the pavement.
Are you going to stripe the other side too? Across from it?
We don't intend for there to be any pedestrian or vehicles parked over there. So striping that side would encroach into the 26-foot like drive aisle. So we don't intend to stripe, but we could theoretically put a 2-foot striping along there if
I'm not suggesting it. I'm just trying to understand how you might mark it because somebody might park there anyway.
Okay.
Just something to consider.
Yep.
Because they're running into the store to get something quick and then they park right there. But is the garbage truck going to take the same route and go in and out in that same way?
the garbage truck will follow I think something more along the lines of the fire vehicle. So the fire vehicle is able to pull into the center bay and then reverse back to get to back up to get to the garbage
Okay.
closure.
So you view they back out and then go away. Okay.
Yep.
For the overall setback of the building,
Yes.
you said you set it back there to utilize and give as much parking to the front. And what are you going to do in front of the building? Is there going to be any greenery or anything in front?
Yeah, so the building is set back as such due to the 75-foot building setback requirement per the new code. So that is why we have the parking in front of the building because
Right.
There's only a 25-foot parking setback. The back to this one.
You're fine.
Sorry. Here we go. The area shown as the area shown as landscaping along the Route 50 is currently paved. So we are proposing taking that out and putting nice green landscaping along Route 50. We are not proposing any plantings or trees, as that is, majority of that is within that 15-foot New York State DOT easement that we are proposing. So we're keeping that open for the DOT when they decide to conduct their improvements.
Right. But you'll have nothing in front. It'll just be blacktop or something right up to the building, and then the building will be there.
Correct.
Thank you. And I'm not fully aware of everything that's behind your building exactly, but what's behind you? Because you show a lot of greenery, but is that greenery actually there, or is that just?
That is, so I guess along the
Right.
eastern side, that is landscaping right now, trees, runs down to, there is a wetland, non-DEC wetland that runs along the back edge, and then it all gets collected in the top northeast corner, and then that goes down under Saratoga Ave and out to, I'm forgetting the name of the river, but out that side. Say
So
again?
Cateros?
probably to
Yeah.
the Cateros where it
Yep.
goes out there. All right. And what's that building right behind it? I just don't know what that is.
This-
No, the one just above the arrow there by the pink, that
is-
shed or whatever that is right there.
that's- Yeah, that's an accessory structure from the residential on the other side that fronts along Saratoga.
Okay. And there's a pretty good hill that goes down there to that area, right?
Yes, yep.
I just wanted to see if we were going to get any comments about screenery or anything like that that would have to be there.
Yeah, there's a good amount of forest at the moment, but
And you don't plan on taking any of that out?
we're gonna clear up until, I guess, the edge of, or about 10 feet past the edge of the proposed building for construction. But no, we're not gonna extend that clearing all the way to the property line.
Okay. Thank you.
On the county comments, they had the fire access stuff, and in
Yes.
particular, the access to the rear of the buildings. Just curious, you showed in your flows there, the access to the sides and the front, but how about the access to the rear of the buildings? How did you,
Yeah, so we have, per the code, the 150-foot aerial tower reach to the back of the building from the edge of the swept path movement.
were you able to get any feedback from the county or EMS as to is that adequate? I mean, I have no idea what the equipment, whatever responding fire department has.
We have not received any feedback.
Okay. Okay. So your assumption is that they have the aerial equipment to be able to get over that whole building to get to the rear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know. I guess we'll wait to see what they have to say for that.
I think you're going to have to make sure you make an active reach out to the fire department and make sure they understand that the design is based on them, on that.
And then the stream corridor, I know, talking to the planners, she was gonna delve in just to, I mean, we would agree that the impervious surface exists. There's really no change in impervious surface that's occurring here. So I wasn't sure where the county was even coming with what's happening.
Mhm.
I mean, whether it's a roof if anything, the only change is there's a slight amount of the building now that's going to be an impervious surface that previously was asphalt. But to me, an impervious surface is an impervious surface. There's, if anything, what you might be able to say, well, is that portion of the roof is going to collect the water and divert it
Yeah.
to some catchment somewhere else. It's not going to just sheet flow over the road anymore.
Correct.
So I'm not sure what the county was trying to get with their comment of wanting to get more information from DEC or others on that. I mean, DEC seemed, at least from the wetlands perspective, and their letter to you was they didn't explicitly state anything about the stream, but they clearly said, we don't have any wetlands concern or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I can't believe they didn't know the stream was there. They must have known the water course was there. So I don't know what the county's asking more about. I was trying to see what your comment, what was your response to the county on that?
We basically called out the limits of the 150-foot stream overlay, as well as provided the designation for the stream
Yeah,
as the DEC Class C.
Alright. We'll see what they say with that. Okay. And did you give any further thought to why the two lots remain? I mean, did you have to have the two lots? And then the shared parking agreement, I know you put in, and I know that meets your needs now. We had raised the next time, is with two lots, the older building theoretically in the future could be sold for a different use.
Yes.
And not knowing what that could be leaves a whole parking question in the air. You know, what if that became a separate, I mean, I think you're planning to use that more for storage right now, right? So you don't envision a lot of retail going on there. It's not like that's going to be, oh, that's an extra 1,500 square feet of retail space. There'll be that many more customers coming in to be, you know, your space for retail or customer interaction is really in the new building. So that's, you know, if anything, oh, that's where our vehicles are going to park. That's where we're going to keep everybody that's in and out on a daily basis is going to be over there. From a working perspective, that's not where the transient population is going to be moving around. But in the event, let's say that you didn't need it and that became a separate retail space of some kind, which it could, then all of a sudden and it could be a legitimate separate lot. You know, let's say in the future you say, all right, we don't need it. We're going to sell it. Now all of a sudden we're like, that doesn't have adequate parking associated. You could say, well, we have a shared parking agreement, but that could generate demand for more parking. And that's what we're looking at, is say how, because we're in a difficult situation of not being able to create, i.e. two lots that could have the potential, one creating a non-conforming structure, even though for your current circumstance, it wouldn't necessarily be non-conforming, but it's creating a future scenario that could be non-conforming. You get what I'm saying? So we had talked, maybe could you go around the back of it and have impervious surfaces that could say, oh, if it ever were sold, yes, enough parking could be here. We're designing it in a way that enough parking could be here without further impeding the stream corridor. You know, sure, if it was going to be a 200-person sit-down restaurant, no, it wouldn't be there, but you could get a use in here that could be met. You're not creating a non-conforming lot and structure. So I don't know if you've given any more thought to that.
Would that then be the kind of narrow down the type of uses that would be able to purchase that existing building so that they?
Well, that's hard for us because we don't control that. we don't control that. And approving this, we can't limit that.
Mr. Chairman, did you mean impervious space in the back or lots or
Pervious.
pervious, right?
Pervious.
So a pervious.
So they could get additional parking, and it might also deal with you for now for snow storage, where you could, that's where we're gonna pile the snow in the winter, get it out of all the parking areas. It's gonna let the snow drain rather than just sheet run into the stream.
So the existing lot does contain roughly 17 spaces, which per the parking study does meet the requirement for either a building material or lumber store or a hardware paint store. That's
If it were to go in building one,
correct.
okay, okay. It meets it.
And that's based on how did you, it's like some of it is non-retail space and some of it is storage, or did you base that the whole thing is retail space?
That's it. The whole thing was retail space for the existing building.
That's a building supply use. What other-
Building supply use,
What
yeah,
else
it could be
can be
something
in
else, yeah.
That's the next question. What else can be permitted in the CMU?
I would think just about anything.
That doesn't meet that standard. I think we'll have to talk to Sophia about that. And I know we're trying to wrestle with, and we have a chance to waive parking standards. And you are talking about a shared parking agreement that would probably have to carry with the land. That
Correct.
if you ever got rid of that lot, you'd probably have to maintain the shared parking agreement. Say, all right, we get it. We get it. We don't know because you wouldn't necessarily know what's coming, until you went to go sell it. And somebody would say, well, I got 17 spaces, but I need 23. All right, can 5 of those, and we don't want to overbuild parking, we know our typical parking standard tends to overbuild. But that's why I was saying behind it, we were like, all right, we'll put this impervious stuff in here, get some more spaces. We're not going to use them. We're not going to encourage them to be used, but they're there.
Yeah, that would require grading within that stream corridor.
That I don't know. I mean, and maybe you're right. Maybe the better thing is let's not do that now. It's not the smartest thing to do.
The 18-foot parking depth plus the 26-foot drive aisle for one-way or two-way traffic puts us over the edge, and we wouldn't be able to without putting a wall back there. Keep that parking.
That's something we should talk about then. All right. And then I don't know if we can deal with use restrictions. I've never seen that done. But, all right, it's just something that flags up. Because how many spaces do you have in front of, on the lower lot? So,
Lower lot, we have 28.
28, okay. 24. Okay, all right,
Oh, over there.
okay.
I didn't see it. Says it right there.
That's something we're gonna have to think about a little more. Other questions? Anybody else thinking about? The last thing I'd say is, have you given any more? We haven't really seen a good architectural renderings of the front and sides, particularly. What's it gonna look like, a
Yep.
profile? Do you have any?
Have a,
I know you had a small one the last time. We didn't really see.
now,
See how this one projects a different image though? Because you have
the landscape.
plantings and landscape. That's why I asked you the question.
Yep.
That was a picture.
I understand,
That's the
yeah.
building itself.
And I don't know how wedded to this one you are. We don't have a specific architectural requirement. I mean, some folks in town have always wanted a more craftsman style type of architectural look. This is very modern. It has some lighting features. We like a dark sky lighting feature, so that top end lighting doesn't quite fit. The signage is pretty big. I mean, it meets our signage standard, I'm sure, but it's not a real dark sky type of
Across the
light?
street, they had one of those electronic.
Well, I know, we don't control that one.
Yeah, that's that, and,
Yeah, yeah.
but, you know, it's a new Route 50 corridor. It's what you want.
Yeah,
So when that's done, then possibly face my other building to make it look.
Yeah.
You know, to do that, make it look nice altogether,
yeah.
as I've done.
What is across the street exactly?
Across the street was the pool, well, there's a pool place.
Yeah,
And there's a little,
the flower shop?
they're down ways.
Or down with?
Yeah.
The pool place is there, and that's where your beaming light is, so when you come in
Right.
at night, you talk about
Oh, yeah,
light.
oh, yeah, I
It
know.
looks like Las Vegas.
We don't, yeah, we didn't have a control of that.
Yeah.
That was
So
not
That's
us.
something I wouldn't, I'm not
No, no.
proposing to do.
Yeah, I
And
know.
I wouldn't, you know, to make it look nice. But, you know,
We do provide a photometric plan and plans we submitted.
What?
Photometric plan showing the lighting.
Yeah, that's
I saw that.
hard to see on that.
Yeah.
Can you send us a copy of this one? Because that wasn't in the plan. Can you,
The photometric.
this,
plan?
this,
This, yes, yeah, I can send. a
just
copy of
so.
that.
It's very modern compared to.
that's a rough, that's picture. That was an AI.
No, I
Yeah.
know. It's
Yeah,
just,
that's
it's a
not-
whole different style, you know, the style that folks in town have talked about, you know, what the veteran areas use.
Yeah, they approached me about veterinarian,
It's a different style
an
and
Adirondack up in the
yes,
Adirondack
yes.
style. But everything else around it is, you know,
No, it's hard, but we are beginning to try to cast an image. I'm not necessarily wedded to one or the other, but,
oh, sure.
and we don't have strict architectural standards. And that's why I want the board to think about, what do you really want to capture? Because once we go, this is going to start to put an imprint. What's the rest of the Route 50 corridor gonna start to be? And the public is gonna say some things. But dark sky lighting is something we are
Yep.
strongly trying to push.
And that's what we represent on our photometric plan.
Yes, but that is not dark
Yes,
sky
yes.
lighting. So,
This is very much conceptual, just to
yeah.
paint a picture.
Yeah.
So you might want to work on how do you take this and turn it into a little bit more of what at least the dark sky might look like. And the signage for dark sky might look like. I'm happy to talk to you more about that. Or Sophia. But. Okay. Any other thoughts from the board? Okay, so are there other things? So to get to the final, we need to finish addressing these questions and any changes in the drawing. So what do we think we have to do for the stream corridor overlay? And unfortunately, Sophia's responding to that. The engineer, you got her letter? So on the water and the septic, did you get the engineer's comment? All right, you should be getting that.
Okay.
I apologize. Sophia's been out with a sick kid and Amanda's been out with a sick mom. So some stuff may have got conveyed. That all came in between Friday and Monday. So the engineer's given some comments on the water connection, just making sure some of the flows can meet the, basically the fire suppression flows. I'll make sure you get those.
We conducted the hydrant flow test last week.
Okay.
And
And I saw your letter with the village asking, saying, hey, can we connect? And we know we got to have certain flow things. I've asked the town and the engineer, what are we going to want in terms, do we want a service agreement with the village? What do we need to do?
Okay.
Knowing that you want to connect, what do we have to have?
Okay.
So the engineer's written one thing on that. And I think she's got to get back to us. The one thing she did ask about, the existing septic system you're going to use is the one that was associated with the restaurant.
Yes.
So she asked to make sure that there isn't any grease issues
Yep.
when you do the septic investigation.
We did the septic investigation. There were 2 grease traps prior to the septic tank, prior to the dosing tank.
Okay.
And the first grease trap had all the grease in it, and then the second grease trap.
Just make sure you got that documentation. You can give it to the
We've got-
engineer.
We've got photos.
Because they'll want to know. I don't think, I think yes, you probably can pull even the grease traps out. You probably don't need them.
Correct. Yeah.
So just
all of the.
documenting that it didn't get into the rest of the system and it was clean. She just threw those in. In fact, that came in an email after her initial comments. Said, oh, I forgot this was a restaurant.
Yeah.
Just make sure when they do anything,
No.
that grease wasn't in there. So good
Yeah,
that you
same
got that.
concerns.
So, but you'll get some comments from them, and then there was an exchange between her and the planner about some additional things. You're gonna get a more detailed engineering review.
Okay.
The planner's got a review that she's gonna generate. We'll talk to her after this.
I have a quick question, if I may.
You may, that's what I was asking for. That's what we want. Now's your time.
You're not the architect, are you?
No, sir.
So are you planning on building that building? And we're telling you we want an Adirondack Lodge? Or how's that affect your financing?
This was just the shape of the building kind of
Right.
thing. It wasn't, had nothing, as you can see, the landscaping, the scene, so it's,
So this is fake.
yes.
Thank
It's an
you.
AI generated.
But he's looking for you to give him advice. If you want something different, way different than that, then you should speak now. Because they're going to the point of starting to tell an architect. You're looking at this shape, though. Yeah. And if you want something different shape, or you want different siding, you want different lighting, now's the time to start articulating before they spend a lot of time and money with an architect to say, and then you turn around and say, no, I don't like that, redo it again.
Right.
Now's the time to start saying, I'd like to make sure it looks a lot different. So far, we've only told them dark sky lighting.
One of the things
Do
that
you
always,
have other comments that you want to say?
No, we can be brutal, so. pay
Well, do
attention.
you want an Adirondack style building?
Well, that, you brought that up, that we had an influence on McDonald's,
Which didn't turn 100% the way we wanted.
but it came closer, so I'm just suggesting that when you would bring in that first
No,
render,
that isn't.
no, it's not.
So
No.
am I not gonna be permitted to do something that's more modern, more up to date? Does it have to
that's
be-
why I bring it up.
Yeah.
because-
I've actually got, plans to build, this already, so I'm ready to go with the builder and, get everything done there. I don't really understand.
So we'd like to see what is it actually going to look like, what materials are you going to use on the outside of it, and what lighting is going to be there, more than just the lumens that your lighting plan say. Is it really dark sky lighting? What's the landscaping plan going to be?
Sure.
Are the islands going to have planning? Now, we full know that out near the highway, there's yet to be street trees, lights, and a sidewalk. We got to give you much clearer direction. Do we not want to do that right now and have you escrow that? Or do we have you build a sidewalk to nowhere, which would be from the edge of your property to the edge of which I don't think we're going to want to do that. But we need to tell you that. And if not, then we got to say, we got to make sure we leave room that can be done in the future. You get what I'm saying?
The Route 50 study did suggest taking away the shoulders. There's 12 and 14-foot shoulders on Route 50 at the moment, and repurposing those for walkway and pedestrian
So
landscape.
we just want to make sure that room is there for that stuff.
Yep.
So we wouldn't want you to put a lot of investment that's just going to get ripped up, let's say 6 or 7 years from now, but we're also going to say, how are we going to work with you to make sure that some point in the future, those sidewalk, street trees and lights go in there?
I just want to be cautionary to the fact that McDonald's doesn't look like what they came in with.
Yeah, but he's asking you now, if you got ideas, let's start telling him, because if it's different than what he.
I don't have any ideas. My point is that the board may have different things. For example, like I said, McDonald's doesn't look like where they came from.
Sure.
The entrances aren't the same.
Sure.
Everything was, because this board will have an opinion.
The other thing that'll come up is, if you notice your building's pretty clean around it, right? You don't see any mechanicals or any of that stuff. Is all that stuff going to be in the building, or is it going to be, so we'll look at that kind of stuff too. So, and naturally with the roofing choice you've kind of made, you're probably not going to put it on the roof unless you go with that modern approach, which means you could maybe put it on the roof, but we're just not sure.
Is the roof a peaked roof or is it a flat roof?
It's a pitched roof from front to back.
So are the mechanicals on the roof or no, they're all are the mechanicals on the back or on the sides?
Yeah, so, yeah, we'll,
Okay.
because sometimes they put them around the building, just,
Are you talking as far as visual, like
Yeah,
those things?
will we see the things? Will we?
yeah.
I mean, McDonald's had other things. They had lots of vents and lots of stuff that had to be outside. Ended up being on the roof.
And then they had to put it all on the roof and then parapets up and stuff.
So yeah, we'll want to see profiles that show the front and at least the north side. Probably the south side. The back we're less. What's behind you? And are you planning any?
Residential.
So what screening we're going to look to want to see what screening you're going to have there. It looks like vegetation I don't know how much vegetation. There's not a lot of room there. Is there a 6-foot kind of semi-private chain link fence, 6-foot wooden private fence? I don't know what you're planning. You don't have a lot of activity back there. It's not like a lot of loading or whatnot. But what's going to be the screening? Is there any lighting that's going to be back there? There's 24-hour lighting that residents are going to be concerned about. Those would be things we'll be looking at. It looks like, yeah, the residents that I can see are close.
Yeah, I believe that's chicken coop for the residents across the.
I think it is too.
Okay. Yeah, at least this isn't a multi-story building with parapets looking out on it the last time one. Okay. Okay. Have we given you enough direction for now?
Sure.
I mean, what I'd like to think is you come in with all this and maybe the next time we can get it completed, seeker, and then schedule a hearing for the following month.
For special use.
Yeah, we have to have a hearing because it's a special use permit.
Yep. So if I may just kind of run through the notes,
Absolutely.
make sure we've got
Absolutely.
everything.
Yes, let's do that.
Coordinate with Sophia regarding the special use permit, and if anything additional is required from us over and above what we have already submitted. That'll accompany the mandatory public hearing. Delineate no parking along the loading side of the building, striped or
No parking where?
along the northern side of the building.
That was an evaluation.
Okay,
You don't necessarily have to do that. It was
Okay.
something to consider.
okay.
Because people just drive through everything, right? So
Maybe
I-
some signage along the side of the building, something to that effect.
something, I don't know.
Reach out to the fire department to get their review on the attorney movements as well as the county. Make sure that 150-foot vehicle apparatus reach is acceptable. And then mainly just regarding the building, get more detailed renderings, dark sky lighting shown around the edges, profiles of the building, and then just some more details as to where mechanicals are, if they're located outside, and then screening around the back.
Yeah.
And I had one more thing just real quick. How close do you come to the Leo's Lane? Do you go right up to it?
Leo's Lane is on the property. So that runs along the southern edge of the property. So that's going to be,
Are you going to go over Leo? Is Leo going to no longer Leo anymore? Is that,
correct.
that's what you're
There'll be no more
proposing?
Leo's Lane.
Leo is going away?
Correct.
Yeah.
What was Leo's Lane?
It's a road that exists. Just check and see, what the documentation, because I haven't looked, but just check and see.
Yeah, we've checked with the surveyor. He's done 3 dives into any easements over there that grant use or access to anyone. Couldn't find anything. Reached out to the next door neighbor. Didn't get anything from there. So don't have any evidence to suggest that that is undevelopable.
Well, it would be in a deed or an easement somewhere, so if it exists.
Yeah.
So it was never a public highway.
He just made that for his little, if you've been in town, you know Leo, who had
The diner.
the diner. He made his own little lane there just to drive his golf cart up there. Cool guy.
It's on Google Maps though.
Yeah.
It shows
Is it?
Leo's.
Yeah.
So
It exists somehow. So just make sure you do a good search and make sure.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause-
there's easements or it's highways by easement.
It's exactly right. So just make sure you do a good search. Because otherwise you could do this and then someone goes, wait a minute, that's my thing I've been using for years.
Was Leo's house like on the other side?
I think so.
In the back, he sold that years ago.
Okay.
Back there, part of it, yeah. So
Okay. Okay. Interesting. I never knew that. Wow.
How'd you know that, John?
Leo's Lane. We talked about it when the what is it? The little pooch place and stuff wanted to expand and become bigger and stuff like that. They were gonna use it as a road or something. It was, but it's your next door neighbor.
Oh, yeah.
When they were gonna expand.
Yeah. It's not part of that, part of the property. Is that whole area that goes up. That was Leo. And his own little golf cart.
Yeah.
And he called it Leo's Lane. It's funny how it's on there.
Wow.
Yeah. We made up a little sign for it out there.
I'm from Tug Hill. There's lots of easement roads
Yeah.
over the river and through the woods.
Yeah.
It's a highway. Okay. All right. Like I said, if you have any questions in between, feel free to let us know, but Sophia can give you some guidance. And I know she would have been here, but for her sick child.
And
Apologize for that. All right. Is there any other business to be brought before the board this evening? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I shall move.
Tim Frey, second.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. We're adjourned.